Bam! We're live. Good morning, Shannon. Welcome to the show. Best $20 you ever spent. Good morning, Christine. Kenneth. Someone is sitting in my pew. 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 Someone is sitting in my pew. Good morning. Late night last night. Watched the UFC. Holy cow. I couldn't pick a fight if my life depended on it. Holy cow. My kid's favorite fighter lost last night. Went the distance. Marab from Georgia. Marab Delashkilashvili. I wish I could make up some sort of excuse for him. Crazy fight, 5 rounds. It was for the 135-pound, which they call bantamweight. Bantamweight. That's 135. I don't know what bantam means. What are the origins? What are the origins of bantamweight? The bantamweight class originally originated in 19th century boxing. 19th century means the 1800s. Deriving its name from bantam chicken, small but spirited fowl from Java, Indonesia. Used as a metaphor for diminutive yet fierce fighters, symbolizing quick, tenacious combatants. Oh, so it's a chicken, bantam chicken. In boxing, that means the max weight for a bantamweight is 116 pounds. In the UFC, it's 135. So that's interesting. So they were 135-pound guys. 5'6" and 5'7", 135 pounds. That's crazy. So they named it after a chicken. Yeah, that's wild. All right. The rest of the weight classes have like more, they're called like featherweight or lightweight or middleweight or light heavyweight or heavyweight. They have more. No, that's the only one that uses a weird name like that, bantamweight. Big feathery legged chicken. The bantam chicken. So one of the guys was from Georgia, fighting out of Las Vegas. The other guy was from Russia. It was the final fight of the night. You pay $79.99, and like the first 15 fights are free, and then or 10 fights, whatever, and then the last 5 fights you have to pay for $79.99. And when I say free, we know that's not true. They're not free. You have to have some sort of ESPN subscription, whatever that costs you. Fergie, good to see you, buddy. You know what? It's time to put out episode 3. I'm gonna watch episode 3 today and make it live behind the scenes. Throw that sucker back there. Interesting. Much cleaner picture and audio this morning. That's interesting because one of my kids who fell asleep before the fight was over said, "Hey, can I watch the fight right now?" And I said, "I'd prefer you don't, so you don't suck down any of the bandwidth here at the Airbnb." Normally at home I'm hardwired in, but when I take the show on the road, I just jump on some random Airbnb Wi-Fi. So main card, the Russian versus the Georgian, 135 pounds. The Georgian, I thought, was the greatest fighter currently in the UFC. The Georgian, I thought the Georgian was Marab. But last night, a really talented Russian named Peter Yan. I think I'm not even saying his name right. I think his name is like, they have a weird way of saying Peter in Russian. Piotr Yan. Oh boy. You really want me to do that? Teresa Rochford, please dissect the Froning and Khalipa union. It's funny. Someone called me and asked me if I was going to talk about that. And I said, I didn't think so. And they said, why? And it said, because I like Jason and Rich. And, I don't know if I have anything nice to say. I mean, I guess I could say that. I guess I could say this. I'm happy for them. I mean, what's your take on it? I have no idea what they're saying. I have no idea any of these announcements that Mayhem makes. I have no idea what they're saying. I have no. It was just gobbledygook. Does he work for Rich now? What are his duties there? Like I know what Darren Hunsucker does over there, right? He's in charge of their affiliate program. I know what Anholo does. But there's this merger of what looks like NC Fit and Mayhem. And I didn't watch the podcast. I just watched the clip. But I was told that Malioza was on there just spewing gobbledygook. And I don't know. I don't. Where is the clip? Caleb, pull it up. Oh no, Caleb here. Where's the clip? I'll pull it up. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're doing. I'm guessing. I was trying to just play. I was just trying to. This is what I made up in my head. What I'm about to tell you is not true at all. But this is what I made up in my head. I made up that Mayhem has 1,000 members, and Jason has 100 members, and Jason doesn't want to manage his 100 members. And I don't. When I say members, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm talking about. And I'm not suggesting that the numbers are right. I'm just talking about the spirit of trying to understand what possibly this relationship could look like. And NC Fit offers these services, and Mayhem offers these services, and Jason doesn't want to do his services anymore. So him and Rich got together, and he's like, "Hey, dude, how about I give you my 100 to add to your 1,000, and you give me X amount of dollars, and then for every new member that comes on, I get X amount of dollars." You know what I mean? So if he's like, "Hey, give me 10% of whatever you bring in here," since I'm bringing 10% new eyeballs. But I don't know what Jason's going to do. I don't know if he has duties at Mayhem. I don't know. I'm guessing whatever Jason was doing, he just got burnt out and wanted to do something else. Itchy Malioza on their last show says, "I don't like to watch CrossFit at 116." Yeah, there's this evolution. We've talked about it before, right? Of the athlete. CrossFit's a sport, blah, blah, blah. Then after 10 years of doing the sport, you're like, fuck CrossFit, it hurts you. And then after 3 or 4 years of that, you're like, oh my God, CrossFit can save old people. And then and it's good for kids, and it can save old people, and it's something you do just for your health and fitness. So like if you come into the sport as an athlete, it takes you 15 years before you actually figure out what CrossFit is. Unless, of course, you're someone like, maybe like Dallin Pepper, whose parents I think do CrossFit, then you kind of know. You see the other side first. Or if you're someone like Justin Medeiros, who started in Adam Knifer's gym, maybe then you get you kind of get a different understanding. Oh, they switched it to Mayhem Men. It's not whatever Khalipa does every Saturday morning now. It's called Mayhem Men. Yeah, I don't know. After watching, I watched the clip like 3 times. I have no idea what the clip is saying. Sevon dissecting it before watching the podcast and being spot on is hilarious. Oh, am I spot on? Yeah, I have no. The last 3 announcements that Mayhem has made, I have no idea what they're saying. I don't know. It's like yesterday I told my kids, what did I tell my kids? Greg's youngest child came out to the pool to swim, and I told him, I said, "Hey, if you guys turn off the TV right now and watch this kid, and no matter what, don't take your eyes off the kid. Later on tonight, I'll give you a good surprise." And then like 2 hours later, they come inside. They're like, "What's the surprise?" I'm like, "I have fucking no idea. I just made that shit up so you'd watch the kid." I mean, that's what I feel like. Like they're like, "Welcome, Jason. Welcome, welcome." I don't even know if they actually merged. I don't even know exactly what. From watching the clip and from just talking to people, I don't even know. When I think of Jason Khalipa, I think of him as owning a gym over the hill from me, the big, beautiful gym with great coaches, very passionate. Jason's very passionate. And then he has this man program on Saturdays, and then he's raising his kids. Those are the only 3 things I know Jason's in. I know he had a podcast. I don't know if he still does. I know when he does. I know when he collabs on videos with other people, they get a shitload of views. Like when he did that one with that military guy, and then he did the one with Nicky Rod. But I don't know. I don't know. There's no. I have no. I have no takeaway. I don't know. I don't know what Malioza. They introduced Malioza's coming on the team. All I know is he's going to make the affiliate experience better or something. I don't know. I have no take on it. I really like Rich and I really like Jason. They're cool as shit. They're extremely knowledgeable. They're generous. They're fun to watch. They seem like good dudes who have great values that they showcase that I think other people can learn from. But as far as them coming together, I wish I had a phone so someone could call in and tell me. But I did not watch that podcast. And here's the reason why I didn't watch that podcast. The only reason why is because I don't anything I watch, I'm going to incorporate. Anything that happens in my life, I incorporate into the show. And I thought, oh shit, do I really want to like have more? I don't want to like ass pound Malioza. I don't want to. But I have a feeling if I watch it, I'm going to be like, oh shit, here we go, the gobbledygook again. All the we have a lot. We're going to integrate all sorts of great things. It's the coming together of two great people. We're going to the offerings for the affiliates and our knowledge is going to be fantastic that we share and just shit like that. And I'd rather have like Dom or Lockhart or Rich come on here and talk to me about God, because then at least I'm learning something, taking something away. CrossFit. I've always been impressed by the packaging and underwhelmed by the programming from NC Fit. I know nothing about it. I just know Sentinel's the best. That's all I know. And whatever JR's doing. Oh, we love the hate. Good morning. Check your text messages. Oh, okay. Check my text messages. Here we go. Better be something good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let me watch that tomorrow. Or let me watch that after the show. Wow. That's crazy. Mr. Beaver sent me an AI video. It's a space to sell thongs. I am going to purchase a Daniel Brandon thong. Good morning, Pat. The lady firefighter commissioner. I did some more research. Whatever you said was true. I don't. What did we say about her again? Just we were disputing how much authority she has. You thought maybe she was just a figurehead, and I was like, hey, listen, buddy. I had no idea what I was talking about either. Just two guys having no idea what they're talking about. I just saw the word commissioner. What do you guys want to do? You guys want? I got a lot of interesting things. But the two things that I'm most interested in talking to you about is something that happened in Portland, or I think we probably have time for both, or we can talk about High Rocks. I do not know how High Rocks is still in business. Dense updates. I enjoyed the reminiscing, sharing stories about past game events and Team USA stuff. Oh yeah, when Jason and Rich talk, I know that shit's cool. The rest was gobbledygook. Yeah. And I think that in their defense, I think not in their defense from me. I think their defense is like we're purposely not saying anything. But it is a little frustrating. You do feel like you're wasting your time every time you listen to Malioza talk. Like if I told you There, if I told you that me and this chick were getting married, you would know that like there's some shit going on. Like probably we're gonna have to file papers somewhere, and we're probably gonna move in together, and shit like that. Like the single word marriage, there's not a lot of abstraction to it. You can start piecing shit together. When they're saying when Jason and Rich are coming together, I don't know what that like. I don't know. NC Fit and Mayhem coming together. Like is Jason giving up his name of the company? Is he laying people off who do his programming? Is he moving to Cookeville? That's the one thing I wondered. Oh, I wonder if he's moving to Cookeville. Jason talked about how he's coming to his faith and being called to help specifically be men and lead men. Oh, okay. No offense, but I find Khalifa odd, especially the way he says jujitsu. Yeah, Khalifa is odd. Listen, you're not gonna be cool unless you're odd. Only odd people are cool. My kid had a fanny pack on the other day. He wanted a fanny pack, and I got him a fanny pack, and he said, "Are people gonna make fun of me?" I'm like, "Dude, your whole life, people are gonna make fun of you because you're always gonna be out front. You're always gonna be out front." I don't take that as a dig at all to say Jason's odd. I think that's I think it's like you better be odd. The normal people just get lost in the mix, right, Teresa? Not moving to Cookeville, from what I understand. Is it like Paper Street Coffee and Good Dudes came together for a minute? Paper Street Coffee, PAPER, Street Coffee. No one won the $5,000 last week. This week, next week it'll go to $6,000. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I need to speak to Taylor about this. I need to speak to the boss man, but I'm pretty sure next week he'll just write the workout and we'll have people do it, and then we'll wait a week before we can beat it. I love that format. I don't know. I don't know why we didn't do that sooner. I love that format. That's fucking amazing. Jason is odd the same way Rich is odd. Maybe they're both odd, but they're definitely odd in different ways. I mean, Rich is like you look up the word cool in the dictionary and there's a picture of Rich. And hey, you can't say this about a lot of people. I sure as hell would never say this about myself, not in a million years. If you meet Rich, like he's cooler than whatever you think about him. That's hard to do. You meet me and you're like, what the fuck? Wow, you really are short. Wow, you're older than I thought. Damn, you are fat. I mean, you meet Rich and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I knew you were a great athlete. I didn't know you were part angel also. And Jason's pretty impressive in person too. Lots of energy, crazy great energy. They both have great energy. I love those guys. When you watch your kids battle leukemia, I'm sure that changes you. She's referencing Jason. Jason's daughter went through a bout of leukemia that was pretty heavy. He seemed genuine. He was also a Black Square and BLM supporter, so it's very interesting. Yeah, I think I think there's just an evolution in him. I think he's, you know, I don't know if that's true if he was a BLM supporter, but he was in the Bay Area. He was in the he lived in the heart of the psychosis, and he was surrounded by those people. And I think it's more impressive that he just, if that is true, he was able to transition from wokey to logical thinker. It's not very interesting. He thought he was in the right, figured he wasn't. Now he's course corrected. Yeah, well said. You should have a podcast. Shorter than I thought is every male CrossFit Games champion until Jason Hopper. Yeah. I'll start with the I'm gonna start with the High Rocks. I watched this like 3 times. I can't believe this is I kind of can't believe this is even true.
High Rocks Daily, you'll see this massive line of people in what was supposed to be one of the largest events of all time. A commenter informs everybody that there's supposed to be a stopwatch, so no, they're not just having time add to their time. Let's just say you're there for 5 minutes, they're going to subtract 5 minutes. But what about the idea that you had a 5-minute break and somebody else probably didn't have a break, and then there's another person who had a 10-minute break? Obviously, the person with the biggest advantage is going to have the largest break. And then all of a sudden, your standardized race isn't so standardized anymore. So not only do the competitors not have to squat in parallel while other people do have to squat in parallel, some people are getting larger breaks before they get to the station in which the squatting is happening. The solution to not squatting below parallel, a 10-minute break right before you're supposed to start your 100 wall balls. In a post put up by AJ High Rocks and High Rocks.
The High Rocks, Andrew Hiller writes, the High Rocks circus has well and truly rolled into London. So for those of you who don't know, High Rocks is like a 40-minute to hour and a half event, depending on how fast you are, and it's a hero WOD with no hero. It doesn't represent any hero, and I say it's a hero WOD because it's long and grueling, and it's basically run 800 meters, and then you go to a station and you do like burpee broad jumps, and then you run another 800 meters, and then you go to a ski erg, then you run another 800 meters, and you go to a wall ball, then you run another 800 meters, and it's like that. And it's like that. I forget how many stations. Let's say 6 stations. So you end up running 6 800s, and you had to do these 6 stations. And it's a mass participatory event. It's happening all over the world. It seems to be very big in Europe. And the way it works is when they say go, the clock starts. I'm assuming you have a chip timer. And then when you cross the finish line, you get your time. And High Rocks was brought into fame because of our beloved Hunter McIntyre. He was the king of High Rocks. He may still be the king of High Rocks. I don't even know. Oh, 8 stations by 1,000 meter runs. Okay. 8 by 100 with a station after each. Okay, thank you. More like 55 minutes to 2 hours. Okay. So I stand corrected. And it became very popular, this CrossFit workout in Europe. And I don't know how much you pay. I think you pay like $100, and like 3,000 people will descend on like a convention center. I think they do it always indoor, which sounds pretty miserable. And then people go, and everyone who goes says it's amazing. I actually have not heard one negative thing about it from anyone who's ever attended. And they have judges at these stations. Oh, it's $200 per person? Holy shit. Hunter hasn't been the High Rocks champ for 2 years. Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Does he still hold the world record? Okay, so if you want to go there, you and your wife and your 3 kids, and do it, it's $1,000 for 5 of you. So a few weeks ago, so this whole since High Rocks has been around, Andrew Hiller's been pointing out that the people who do the stations aren't following the rules, and yet they have judges. And I've always just let it slide. Like I mean, I watch it, but I never formed an opinion on it for years. I was like, whatever. And then they start talking about world records, and then it sort of started to become an absurdity that they had judges, but they weren't holding anyone to standards. And I'm not talking about debatable stuff. I'm talking about stuff where someone's just standing in front of the wall ball station. It seems like most of Andrew's content critiquing or showcasing High Rocks shows people at wall ball stations just throwing a ball and hitting the wall ball target and not squatting. And as absurd as it is, I always just chalked it up into the category as, well, I have no idea what's fucking going on. I don't know how these people are briefed, but it has been bizarre that there have been judges by them. And then a couple weeks ago, Andrew showed them pushing sleds. And they were pushing sleds. Like one of the stops, one of the breaks in this hero workout, CrossFit hero workout, is they push a sled, and they were pushing sleds on these carpets that were buckling and rolling, and not a little bit, not like, hey, it's just on lane 8. Like every single one was. And these carpets that were laid out looked so cheap, and it looked like the person who had set it up had never done an event before. My understanding is it's the same group of people who set up every single event, that they have like a mothership. It's not like the semifinals or the quarterfinals, or whether you're going to go to Crash. Like, you can't blame something on CrossFit that happens at Crash. Or Adam Knifer just had a competition this weekend at his gym, and you can't blame what happens over there on CrossFit. All of these events fall under this umbrella. They are all the High Rocks events. And how are you? I don't know how long High Rocks has been around. Let's say 5 years. How are you 5 years into this, and you haven't figured out the floor and the sleds? You've set up this event 10 times a year for 5 years, 50 times, and your floors are still buckling? Like, what the fuck is going on? Pat Lange, is it possible High Rocks just lets these people do horrible reps, kind of like several severely scaled CrossFit athletes would do a wall ball, and since they're not in the competitive division, it's no biggie? Sure, yeah, I guess, but why have a judge, Pat? That's what I mean. I was kind of in that mindset, like, okay, I could come up with all of these reasons, and then sometimes you do see judges fighting with the athletes, and then why have a time? What are you comparing your time to? I guess maybe just to your time from doing a previous High Rocks. I mean, how loosey-goosey does the event get before it's not an event? CrossFit, everyone's trying to find a new fitness thing that is better than everything else. You think? Here's the thing. I think High Rocks is just a place where CrossFit athletes can go express their fitness. We've seen this since the beginning of CrossFit. Someone does CrossFit for 1, 2, 3 years, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'm going to run the local 5K. Okay, I'm going to enter a weightlifting competition. Okay, I'm going to start learning some adult gymnastics. Like, I think that there's this or you could put it, you could even say this: people get bored with CrossFit, and so they want to express all of this fitness they've acquired in another way. Okay, I'm going to hike Half Dome. Like, you start thinking of these other things you can do. You're a police officer, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm going to enter the fittest police officer competition in the world. I think that's what it is. I think High Rocks is capitalizing. I don't mean that in any negative way, off of the fact that there's all these people in the CrossFit space or in the marathon space who want to find other ways to express their fitness. So this event in London, which I have to guess is their biggest event of the year. It's in Europe. Europe's the hotbed for this. I would guess either London or Copenhagen. They have this division. It looks like it's like the Super Beaver division, right? It's just all these hot chicks with their hair pulled back and their bra and underwear. And they start the race. And when the ladies, the Super Beavs, get to the wall ball part of the event, there's no room for them to do wall balls. So because they have to run so many people through, they must have some sort of system, right? They must have calculated, after throwing these 50 events over the last 5 years, that they know there's like probably different divisions, right? There's the kids division, there's the couples division, there's the Super Beaver division, there's the fucking skinny fast guy division. They have all these divisions, right? They probably have a co-ed division. And in the Super Beaver division, they must have started it before the grandma division. They calculated correctly how long the grandma division is going to be at the wall balls. And so they get there and they stop the clock for these people. And I Googled it. I said, are you allowed to stop the clock and take a break at High Rocks? And, Google, the AI is like, no, absolutely not. And at this moment, this is worse to me than the rolling carpets. This is worse to me than the wall balls. Like, I'd ask for my money back. Now you're not even doing High Rocks. Whatever their event is, this Hero WOD is, taking a 10-minute break Listen, when you're working out in your garage or when you're working out in your affiliate and you're in the middle of the workout and you take a piss, the clock doesn't stop. You know how sometimes you have to do that? Or if you chalk your hands, or if you run over to change the music, the clock doesn't stop. The clock doesn't stop. The standardized test is the standardized test that is not so standardized. It is the and I know I'm coming from the CrossFit space, but the clock is the one thing that is not you can't compromise. That's the one thing. Okay, maybe you had some no reps in there. Maybe you fell down. Maybe you put the wrong weight on the bar. But to stop the fucking clock, it's not. I mean, it's not. It's. Original Steve Miller, Sevon, people are dumb. We are not far removed from all of the same people knocking over little old ladies to get their 49er shot. It's a good point. The owners of High Rocks are extremely woke. Extremely woke. Beyond woke. Doses. This is like Camille's rower breaking and her not getting to start over again. Complete disaster on the floor for High Rocks. Yeah, it is. It's catastrophic, and to happen at their premier event, to the Super Beaver division of all divisions. Like, you know, like honestly, if this was. Maybe there's divisions where it wouldn't have mattered as much. I mean, shit, what would they have done if this was like the cohort that Hunter was in that goes there to try to set world records? The world record in High Rocks Men's Open was set by Alexander Roncevic in Colonia on April 14, 2024 with a time of 50:38. High Rocks has a pro world record and an open world record. The elites are on a completely different day. That does not surprise me about them being woke. Yeah, I mean, they're European. I mean, they are full totalitarian, cucked out. I had the owner and founder on the show once, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I like the guy, but just completely cucked out. It's like saying I squatted 500 pounds, but all I did was unrack the bar. It is. It is like that. CrossFit, no one thinks Noble makes great clothing. Nobody. Matter of fact, people think that they make shitty clothing and shitty shoes. And you should care if they're woke. Maybe you don't know what woke means. It means that one of the manifestations of being woke is that it's okay that your daughter is raped in the boys' bathroom or in the girls' bathroom her sophomore year in high school. That's the outcome of being woke. Anyway, complete shit show. I was not on the High Rocks hating campaign. Now I'm. It's not legitimate in any way, other than a place to collect money and go sweat. I think you're better off just going to the park with your friends and running around. Hiller is gay. Oh no, Hiller likes their shorts. Same thing. Listen, I could make a pair of shorts you like. So that's High Rocks. There you go. That's Europe's hero WOD that has no hero, that has no rules. It's the DEI. It's the DEI. It really, you know what it is? It is. I'll tell you where the woke component fits. It doesn't even. None of that shit matters to them. They're not worried about the product. It's the High Rocks is the Special Olympics for CrossFit people. I bet you everyone gets a little medal or a certificate saying they finished too. You get to print it out, and you probably go to their website and you can buy a picture of yourself from the finish line. And they probably also send all those pictures to facial recognition software. They probably sell that to China. Probably. That would be my guess. All right. Here we go. Back to why you're really here. Bob, you get a patch when you finish. Yeah. Sevon, sign up for High Rocks. No, thank you. Rather sign up for a visit to your mom's house. Stevie shorts have a nutsack pocket. Yeah, not this. Thank you, Judy. High Rocks. This should be their tagline. Not wanting to be held to any standards or be held accountable for anything. Not only will you not be held accountable, but the event organizers and directors will not be held accountable. Does anyone know if those people got their money back? You got to give them their money back, right? You got to give them their money back. Isn't the thing that you go home with from High Rocks is your score? Isn't that what you really go home with? You go home with your time. I don't have a mom. Oh, that explains a lot. Isn't that what you go home? Isn't that what you go home with? Yes, your time. Yeah, that's the one thing you want from there. You want your time. That's the one thing. If none of the other things, if fuck the carpet, at least let's say your time is an hour and 32 minutes and you got the buckled carpet, and you were squatting to parallel, but the person next to you wasn't, you can be like, okay, I know that I know my time is 132 and I just have to beat it next time. And I should be able to beat it because hopefully they won't have buckled carpets next time. And I'll shorten my wall balls next time. I won't squat to depth. You can't even do that if they give you a 10-minute break. You don't even have a time. You don't even get to go home with the time. The one where there's a line to start the wall balls is wild. You do the whole race fast as fuck and then have to wait to do wall balls. Is that one towards the end? Is the wall balls towards the end? Is it one of the last events? Yeah, that's crazy. Even Spartan races are like this. You are held up by people in front of you. Your time doesn't matter unless you're elite. Has anyone followed the Spartan Deca World Championships this weekend? No, no one even knows what you're talking about. Oh shit, the wall balls are the last station before the finish line. Wow. Wow. Crazy. This story is not out of Oregon. I'll save that. December 6, 2025. For those of you who don't believe there is a deep state or a bureaucracy that's so fucking thick, full of woke totalitarian libtards, here's another data point that might help you change your mind. Ex-DEA agent charged with agreeing to launder $12 million for drug cartel. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just an ex-DEA agent. No siree. A former senior Drug Enforcement Administration DEA official and an associate have been charged with conspiring to launder millions of dollars and provide support to a Mexican cartel, an organization that the U.S. government has designated a foreign terrorist syndicate. So not only a drug cartel, leading cause of death to people under the age of 25 in the United States of America is drug overdose. We all know someone who's died of fentanyl poisoning, right? We all know. We all know 3. Our friend's daughter died of fentanyl. She thought she was doing a little coke. Very, very, very well-known person in the CrossFit space. His daughter just died of fentanyl poisoning last month. Very sad. Very, 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 very sad. Young girl, 21, 22 years old. Paul Campo, 61, of Oakton, Virginia. So this guy worked for the agency that's supposed to stop drugs. Paul Campo, 61, of Oakton, Virginia, who once served as deputy chief of the department of the DEA's Office of Financial Operations. And Robert Sensei, 75, of Boca Raton, Florida, were charged in Manhattan federal court with narco-terrorism, narcotics distribution, money laundering, according to the indictment. I'm pretty sure this guy, when they say he worked in the finance division, Pat, you can check this for me. I'm pretty sure he was the CFO of the DEA. I'm pretty sure he was the chief financial officer of the DEA. He was the highest person in charge of the budget at the DEA, and now he's being arrested for working with narco-terrorists. These are the people who bring drugs into the country, like I said, which is the #1 killer of kids under the age of 25 in the United States of America. Both were arrested on Thursday afternoon in New York. Prosecutors allege the two men believe they were working with members of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of Mexico's most powerful criminal groups. Campo and Sensei appeared before a New York magistrate judge on Friday afternoon, who ordered them held without bail. Their attorney entered a not guilty plea on their behalf. The pair are presumed innocent until proven guilty. The case raises serious concerns after the Trump administration designated the Jalisco New Generation Cartel as a foreign terrorist organization. In 2024, Sensei met with the confidential source who was cooperating with law enforcement and presenting himself as a representative of the cartel, according to the indictment. Sensei allegedly touted Campo's experience and former government position, telling the source that Campo could use his knowledge of DEA operations, financial investigations, international money movement systems to help the cartel hide drug proceeds and navigate U.S. law enforcement. Campo and Sensei met repeatedly in New York, Virginia, and Florida, where they allegedly agreed to launder as much as $12 million in cartel money by converting bulk cash into cryptocurrency, moving the funds through overseas accounts, according to the indictment. Prosecutors said Campo had already laundered about $750,000. That's as much as most of you make in 10 years, as part of a scheme, and also facilitated payment connected to roughly 220 kilos of cocaine, which he understood had been imported into the United States. The indictment also alleges the pair discussed helping the cartel acquire military-grade equipment, weapons, explosive drones, and providing guidance to the support of movement of cocaine. Yeah, the cartel's big into drones. Venezuela and Iran have a massive, massive drone factory, weapons, military-grade drone factory in Venezuela. And the point of those drones, to see how far they can go if they can attack the United States from Venezuela. Camp and Sensei also agreed to explore procuring commercial drones and military-grade weapons and equipment for the cartel, including AR-15s, M4 carbines, M16 rifles, grenade launchers, and rocket-propelled grenades. Evidence in the case includes hours of recordings of Campo and Sensei speaking with the informant, along with cell phone location data, emails, surveillance images. Assistant U.S. Attorney told the court Friday. Crazy. This is our guy, deep. Are those good guns, Mr. Ortega? Those sound like good guns. Those sound dangerous. Like they want the good shit. Hey, the entire deep state has been infiltrated. You have to remember, Venezuela is a $1 trillion economy. They got to be a top 10 economy in the world. And they have no people that they're taking care of. Venezuela has 6 citizens living in the country, within the country's borders, who are worth over $100 billion each. Our government is so flooded with drug money. It's real. When I was a kid, you only thought this shit happened in Brazil and Mexico. Here it is. The cartel drug, as part of that support, the defendants laundered hundreds of thousands of dollars they believed to be cartel drug proceeds, agreed to launder millions more, and even agreed to use their financial expertise to facilitate cocaine trafficking right here in New York City. But they don't want us bombing the drug boats. I want to find this. I'm pretty sure this guy Paul Campo. I'm pretty sure this is understated. I'm pretty sure. He was in the DEA for 25 years. I wonder if there's a wiki page on this guy. I'm pretty sure he had the chief there's a Paul Campo who wrote The Obesity Myth. I'm pretty sure he was the CFO of the DEA. I wish I could find his highest position. I can't believe the New York Times is reporting on this. Wild. And so for any of you who are shitting on people like Cash Patel, man, they're doing their job. This is good work. This is great work. The DOJ, Cash Patel, they're doing great work. The smart third world dictators know that video of American soldiers being droned, like you see from Ukraine, will quickly undermine support for any new regime war. You know what someone was speculating to me is that they were going to fill one of these drug boats soon with babies, and they were going to get a bunch of babies and put them in the drug boat and cover them with a tarp, and so that way, when the U.S. government bombs the boat, it'll be a fucking media disaster because you'll see dead babies floating all around in the Pacific or whatever, the Atlantic. That's a pretty gnarly countermeasure. That could also backfire on them. Why did they have that? You know, it would be some serious Hamas type tactics. Good morning, Sean. Good to see you, buddy. Good morning. So that's the deep state continuously being revealed. Finally, a president doing his job. Also on the Jan 6 bombing thing, let me add this. Mike Benz is saying that it wasn't the negligence of the Biden administration that didn't catch the Jan 6 pipe bomber, but it was actually a cover-up. That they purposely didn't find him. Because Pam Bondi and Cash Patel are saying that no new evidence was found. That basically they just went through the evidence they already had. Wow, this is crazy. Sorry, breaking news. UFC reporting Pantoja had a dislocated shoulder, not elbow. Yeah, what? We saw his elbow break on video. The birdwatching movie documentary is called Listers, a perfect movie for a man who has an old camera in front of his face in his profile picture. Yeah, the Pantoja fight. There was a fight in the co-main event. About 15 seconds into the fight, a guy fell down on his arm, and when he posted his arm, his elbow snapped in half backwards, and Jeremy's saying that the UFC is saying he hurt his shoulder. Yeah, you're welcome. Listers. 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 Okay, see if you can follow this one. This one is absolutely a DEI riddle. This one is full of all sorts of twists and turns, and I don't know. I need help. Use of racist slur by wounded man in Portland's Old Town, stabbing spurs to acquit. Now, when you first read this headline and you first look into the story, there was a man sitting on a park bench. Another man approaches him from the back. I guess they have video of it with no audio, and stabs him. So it's a black man with the backpack on that walked up behind this white guy. And I'll tell you why their color matters in a second. Stabs this white guy in the shoulder from behind. Right? Guilty, right? Guilty. Like what could you possibly do from the seated position on a bench in Portland that another guy would come up behind you and stab you? Guilty, right? That's easy. It's easy. Here we go, people. Listen carefully. I have so many questions. An Old Town stabbing case ended in defeat. By the way, this is on July 7th. An Old Town stabbing case ended in defeat for, I don't know what it is. Prosecutors, once jurors decided to learn the wounded man had been videoed uttering a racist slur in the struggle's aftermath. Okay, so now they're saying prosecutors once an Old Town stabbing case ended in defeat, meaning the guy who stabbed him was let off. The black guy was let off because in the aftermath of the video, so after he'd been stabbed, they heard him yell the word nigger. I don't know if that's the word he yelled, but when they say racial slur, I don't know. Like, what did they? I don't think he said porch monkey or jigaboo or, you know what I mean. I'm just going to go with just the old N word. Once jurors learned the wounded man had been videoed uttering a racist slur in the struggle's aftermath. So right there, you're like, wait a second. So some Chinese dude stabs me in the back, and I call him a fucking chink while I'm rolling around on the ground, and now that guy's exonerated. He's not in trouble because of what I did after he stabbed me. Before his acquittal, that's the black guy, Gary Edwards, was charged with second-degree assault for knifing a stranger on Northwest 5th Avenue near Union Square in Portland. The sentence carried the charge carried a Measure 11 sentence of 5 years and 10 months in state prison. You're saying it shouldn't count? Listen, I don't think I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think like if you call someone a racial slur that you're allowed to stab them. I don't think like I'm allowed to be walking down the street and someone yells at me, "You fucking Armo." I think that's the racial slur for Armenians. Feel free to use it liberally. I give all of you a pass. I don't think that you have the right to stab them. Like you can't just like cross the street and go over and stab them because they called you a name. I many times in growing up, many times in San Francisco and in Berkeley, there would be just some fucking homeless guy standing on the corner screaming racial slurs. I was in a Jack in the Box recently with Greg, maybe like 2 years ago, and some guy was just screaming "fuck niggers," and he was covered in tattoos. Like no one stabbed him. I mean, the cops came and told him to leave the Jack in the Box. Now, listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't expect to get stabbed. I think if you're standing on the street yelling racial slurs, I think that you should expect to get stabbed. Just like if you're in Kensington, Pennsylvania, you should expect to step on a needle, or just like if you're, you shouldn't be shocked if you step on a needle, or if you're a woman jogging through Central Park, or if you're a woman jogging through the south side of Chicago in a bikini, I don't think you should be surprised if you get raped. Edwards admits to stabbing the witness. He said it was self-defense based on the other man's aggression. Edwards testified that Gregory Howard Jr. yelled the racist slur as soon as he saw him. Howard denied that. So this guy Howard was sitting with his back to the guy, and he stabbed him. And the guy Edwards was saying, yeah, I stabbed him because he was yelling racial slurs. Transit cameras showed Edwards with a fixed blade knife collapsed at his side, approached Howard from behind as he sat on a bench. The video has no sound, but Howard springs up and pushes Edwards as soon as he sees him. Oh, so the guy on the bench got approached from the back, and he jumped up and pushed the guy. But the guy had a knife out. The duo scuffled against the wall for a brief moment, ending with Edwards stabbing Howard in the shoulder. So he approached him with the knife out. He approached that guy with the knife out, but his defense is that he felt threatened by that guy, the other guy. So guy A approaches guy B with a knife from behind, but he felt threatened by the guy who didn't have the knife. Crazy. Defense attorney Daniel Small, referencing his cock size, said the most relevant evidence was recorded later when security officers heard the wounded man shouting the racist slur. It's funny that they won't tell us what it is, and captured it on their body cameras as he described the incident. Edwards is black, Howard is white. Both are alike in other aspects. Now, here it is. Listen, here it is, because this is going to be important later. Each man is 43 years old, with arrest records reflecting the cycles of drug addiction. They call it homelessness, but we know what it is. Drug addiction and violent disorders. The white guy said Edwards the attorney said that Edwards was simply approaching Howard and offering a polite trade, his knife for some cigarettes. So now he's saying, now the story has shifted. He wasn't approaching him because he was yelling racial slurs. He was approaching him with his knife because he wanted to trade it for some cigarettes. I know, this is fucking crazy. This is, now we've entered like crazy town banana pants. The defense attorney said that Edwards was simply approaching Howard with a knife to offer a polite trade, his knife for some cigarettes. Then the defendant says, what other than racism could explain why Howard perceived hatred, animosity, and aggression from a complete stranger? I could think of lots of things. Prosecutor Catherine Williams, he could just be crazy. Prosecutor Catherine Williams recounted the altercation differently, saying that it was irrelevant what the wounded man said after the fact, and that Edwards was also in control during the altercation. Yeah, it shouldn't matter what you say before the altercation. If you're sitting down and someone approaches you with a knife, so you're telling me that it's okay to every crazy person on the street who's yelling racial slurs or anything that offends you? Let's say you walk by and someone calls your girlfriend a fucking whore, and it's some fucking homeless guy and he's got cans and bottles everywhere. He's like, your girlfriend's a whore. You can't go over and stab him. The defendant is not scared for his life. Yeah, so basically that's one of the things that in order to attack someone in a way that might kill them, you have to be the one of the premises is you have to say you were feared for your life. So if someone breaks into your house and you shoot them, the first thing you should tell the cops is I was scared for my life. The defendant is not scared for his life. He didn't retreat. He sauntered up and he sauntered away after he stabbed someone, Williams told the jury. The defendant created the situation. Of course he did. The jury was not swayed by the prosecutor's arguments, however, and acquitted Edwards. Remember, this is Portland. Edwards, who declined to comment through his attorney, spent about 3 months in custody before the trial after prosecutors successfully argued he could be released. Their memo noted that Edwards was convicted of attempted second-degree assault in 2021, so he attacked someone in 2021. And was sentenced to 3 years in prison for another stabbing. So this isn't even his first stabbing. He did 3 years. He did from 2020 to 2023. He was in jail for stabbing someone. He was accused of a 4th-degree assault for fighting with a clerk at Old Town's Helen's Market. But the case was dismissed in June because no public defender was able to take the case. So meaning the cops arrested him for fucking attacking someone at a farmer's market, but they couldn't get him a speedy trial, so he got off. Now, here it comes. Remember I told you to remember that they're 43 years old? That part? Okay? Remember that he's 43 years old? Here we go. Meanwhile, Howard, this is the guy, the white guy who's sitting on the bench, who's also batshit crazy, has been arrested several times in recent years and was convicted of felony rape of a child in Washington in 1997. So right there, I'm like, all right, he fucking raped someone. I guess that's just karma. But here's the problem. If you're 43 in 2025, how old does that make you in 1997? If you're 43 in 2025, so that would be 43 minus 28. Carry the one, 43 minus 20. That makes you, he was 15 years old. So you're telling me that this guy was 15 years old and was convicted of felony rape of a child in Kitsap County in 1997? Yeah, it's like, hey man, being a cop and a prosecutor and a defendant must be so fucking hard. All you're dealing with is batshit crazy people. And in the end, because this guy doesn't go to jail, we're fucked. Both these guys just back out on the street like nothing happened. 100%, the black guy gets arrested again for stabbing someone. 100%. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. Yeah, unless it was a really young child. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Did he rape the neighbor's 4-year-old? Who knows? I can't even relate even a little bit. At 15, the last thing I was thinking about was rape. Prosecutors are typically only thinking about the next thing they can get elected for. It's wild. Absolutely wild. I don't know why I love this clip so much, but I just do. So you guys have to listen to it. I think I just like Asians. I think they're funny. Vietnamese man in the U.S. speaks up about what's going on in Minnesota. Here we go.
Since when the fuck did we have to bow down to certain communities? Look, I'm Asian. I'm Vietnamese, okay? When we have our own communities too, our communities thriving. You know, we have businesses. We've been here only, what, less than 50 years after the 1975. Our communities are thriving throughout the United States. If you look at our numbers, there's only about 2 million of us here in the United States. And out of that 2 million people that we have, majority of us have businesses, scientists, engineers, doctors, bright mind people that given back to this country more than we've taken. And we have never asked anybody to bow down or speak our language. Okay? Since when the fuck this stupid ass mayor of the little pirate motherfucking land pirate Somalian in Minnesota have to speak their language and apologizing for those motherfucking crook ass pirates? Since when we have to do that? This is just a fucking crook, and he's a Jewish dude. What a shame, you know? What a shame. What the fuck's wrong with him?
He called them Somalian land pirates. Oh boy. I love his accent too. I cannot figure out what is going on with his voice, his lips. This is hilarious, Kenneth. When the fuck? I'm your waiter today at Supan restaurant. When the fuck? This guy should do a podcast. Totally. That shit would kill. Yeah, his accent's amazing. He's like stuck in the middle. He's listened to too much rap music and hung out with too many black guys, and now he's like stuck in some Vietnamese. He's like stuck in some weird no man's land with his voice. And his lips were crazy. His lips, he looked like a saltwater fish. His lips were amazing. And called the Somalis land pirates. Yeah, man, we don't have we're not having these problems with Asians. The stats on murder and domestic abuse and all that on Asians is crazy. Crazy. I guess I didn't realize how much this is happening. I guess this is happening quite a bit all over the United States. Obviously, of course, in the blue cities. Breaking, it's been revealed that the man who was charged with the stabbing on the Charlotte, North Carolina light rail last night, Oscar Soloranzo. Oscar is an illegal immigrant who was previously deported, then illegally entered the country again. And they have it again. They have his race as white. I guess all these. I guess I showed you one the other day where it was a black guy and they had him down as white. I guess this is a real problem. They're tinkering with the ethnicity, the skin color, whatever. They're changing the demographics by how they're recording it. The suspect who stabbed someone on the Charlotte light rail last night is Oscar Solorenzo, a twice deported Honduran illegal alien with a long criminal history. This is the same light rail that the Ukrainian chick was murdered on. Remember that guy slit her throat? Democrats want lawless cities filled with criminals and illegals. I mean, I could look at him and say he's white, but then look at his name. Oscar Solorzano? Yeah, this is true. They did that with my college application, cooking the books just like the COVID numbers. He's as white as Pat is right. I think I read North Carolina just changed the law for that light rail stabbing chick. Not even white adjacent. Yeah, I don't know. Why are they doctoring the books? What did someone say here? They're fucking they're fucking with you, Sevon, and it's working. What, my algorithm's fucking with me? My algorithm? My algorithm? Head of the FBI, Christopher Wray. You guys know all about the Jan 6 bombing. If you don't, you need to watch the show more. November 23rd, Christopher Wray is asked how the FBI was able to identify and arrest so many people who entered the Capitol on January 6th, but not able to identify the person who left the pipe bombs. Wray claimed the FBI had pretty much done everything possible to find the January 6th bomber. We will find out soon if Wray is telling the truth. No, we won't.
Able to arrest hundreds of individuals who were allowed into the Capitol, walked around, took selfies, but we can't find the individual who committed the most dangerous crime and attempted to cause multiple mass casualty events at the Capitol or around the Capitol.
Congressman, we have an entire dedicated team focused specifically on this investigation. We've done thousands of interviews, visited, again, just in the pipe bomb investigation,
Okay.
thousands of interviews, visited thousands of residents and businesses, reviewed millions of pieces of data. There's something like 39,000 video files. We've assessed like 500 or something tips. We've done extensive public publicity. We've increased the reward money. We've got our lab working on it. We've got our WMD directorate working on it. We've got our Office of Technology Division, our cellular analysis team. So the folks that we have working on this investigation are working very aggressively on it. And I, as much as anybody, would like to see it solved.
Bullshit. Not true. Yeah, Eli Crane. Sticking it to the FBI director. And that's why Mike Benz is saying it's a cover-up. It's crazy. This is pretty crazy. I wasn't able to follow the whole story, but I guess yesterday some footage was released also that they had all along that the FBI never shared that showed it was a black guy. It shows the bomber look and face the camera. And I guess they knew it was a black guy. I heard someone say they knew it was a black guy because of the shoes he was wearing. He was wearing some like Air Force Ones or some rare edition Air Force Ones that only black guys wear. That's kind of a joke, Pat. Don't get all crazy. Don't anyone write. Black guys aren't the only ones who wear those. It's kind of a joke. It's like part joke, part not joke. It's like just like threading the line. So just chill. It's kind of a joke, kind of not a joke. Jesus Christ. What the hell is going on? Yeah, I should just end the show anytime Halo 7 arrives. Colton Merton says hog scrub. You can get it. The hog wash. I love my hog scrub, just throwing it out there. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I heard my wife yell from the shower the other day. Oh, I love the way this smells. I'm like, what is it? She goes, it's Colton soap. I've never heard her say that about soap, or I can't remember ever hearing her say that about soap. Yeah, my aperture was too wide. Aperture was way too wide. By the way, when I get back home, we have lots of guests coming. You guys don't have to listen to me much longer. Lots of good guests. We have like a jump roping world champion. We have a contender series champion, undefeated UFC fighter coming on. I have a guy coming on who insane video footage of him. I think he was in the military for 20 years and he wouldn't take the vaccine, and it shows like 8 dudes holding him down, forcing him to take the vaccine. I got him coming on. So we got some good guests. Along with, I think next week, Colton Mertens is coming on because I chatted with Colton yesterday, texting with him, and it sounds like he is also headed over to Denmark on Saturday, same as James Sprague. So we'll get some of those guys on. A German woman given harsher sentence than rapist for calling him a pig. Why are those people holding red papers over their face? God, look at that guy's gut. 9 attackers aged 16 to 20 were found guilty of gang raping a 15-year-old girl in Hamburg in 2020. Wild. A woman in Germany has been given a harsher sentence than the convicted rapist after she was found guilty of defaming him. Europe, people, Europe. Maha R., a 20-year-old from Hamburg, called him a disgraceful rapist pig and a disgusting freak, defamatory under German law. I don't think you can call someone a rapist in the United States either. Unless they are rapists, unless they are convicted of it, then you can. He was one of 9 attackers who gang raped a 15-year-old girl in Hamburg Park in 2020. This guy's one of 9 attackers who gang raped a 15-year-old girl. He was convicted. Maha R. was sentenced to a weekend in jail for verbal attacks. The rapist was given a suspended sentence and served no prison time due to his age. Sentence has sparked anger over the critics see as flaw in Germany's judicial system, this disproportionate punishment for defamation. Maha expressed her disgust in a direct message to one of the gang rapists via WhatsApp after his name and number were leaked on Snapchat. She told the court she sent the message to him without thinking twice. Well, good. Aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror, she asked, calling him a disrespectful rapist pig and a disgusting freak. She also told the criminals that he couldn't go anywhere without getting kicked in the face and said, let's hope you were just locked away. The man was one of 9 men and boys convicted of raping a 15-year-old girl in the bushes of Hamburg's park over a number of hours in September of 2020. God, that's some disgusting shit. All were under 20 at the time, allowing them to be subject to juvenile law. Only one of them spent any time in jail, an Iranian national, surprise, surprise, who was 19 years old at the time, though it's not clear why. Speaking about the rape in court, he asked, what man doesn't want that? Holy shit. What man doesn't want to rape a woman? That was his response in court. The rest of the attackers, including the one that defamed by Maha, were given suspended sentences. The presiding judge lamented during that trial. None of the defendants said a word of regret. Maha was sentenced to a weekend in jail after her comments because she had a previous conviction for theft and had not attended the court hearing for the case. She apologized to the young man she had contacted, telling the court it didn't help anyone. She added that she wanted to go back to school and study and become a pediatric nurse. Oh, great. Great. The case has laid bare Germany's harsh defamation laws, which criminalize causing offense with even mild slurs like idiot. Breaking the law can lead to punishment of up to 2 years in prison. Man, Europe is fucked. Germany's Hamburg, the city of Hamburg, is also now investigating around 140 more suspects of insulting or threatening the gang rapist, with 100 of the suspects based outside of Hamburg. Wow. Someone showed me on Polymarket that people think that the Republicans are going to lose the House and the Senate. God, I hope that doesn't happen. That will be so bad for this country. All right. Happy Sunday. Another amazing show. 10 out of 10, David. 10 out of 10. Now the United Kingdom is removing jury trials for sentences of less than 3 years. Speech police in full effect. Yeah, it is nuts. I saw that also. How is Kalshi and Polymark not open to betting on yourself? How? I don't know. I don't know what you're referencing, but I want to know. We aren't talking about last night, Jeremy. I will tell you this, Jeremy. There's something I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I heard to make weight. Marab is the guy who fought in the main event. He's a 135-pound guy, for those you don't follow. And so these guys, they fight at these weight classes, but they don't walk around at these weights. So he might be a 160-pound guy, but he has to weigh in at 135 24 hours before the fight, and then he has 24 hours to rehydrate, eat, get his weight back up. The story with Marab is that he does not use a nutritionist or has no diet plan, and that he actually what he does, the fight's on Saturday night, and on Wednesday he stops eating. So he doesn't eat Wednesday or Thursday or part of Friday at all, zero food, and that's how he cuts weight, which is crazy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You want to see something funny? This is kind of old. You guys know who Lauren Fisher is? CrossFit Games athlete from 1854. Someone sent me this. This is fucking bizarre. Bizarro world. This is a video of Lauren. This is a video of Lauren Fisher telling you what she ate. Lauren, you should go get a job being Austin Maliosa's assistant. This is the fidelity of communication coming out of the Mayhem announcements these days. Listen to this. This shit is crazy. Listen.
Today I'm going to walk you guys through everything I eat at 5 weeks postpartum.
Today I'm going to walk you through everything I eat at 5 weeks postpartum. Okay, cool. I'm kind of interested in that. You look great, glowing.
As a new mom and exclusively breastfeeding. Ross made breakfast this morning, and then I'm having a Quick Foods protein smoothie. I am loving these lately to get more protein in, and I also love adding the colostrum for extra immune and gut support. Then I had lunch, another snack, and dinner, and here I am with my final snack of the day and some more snacks for the evening. Today I'm gonna watch.
What? What? What did you just walk us through?
Walk you guys through everything I eat at 5 weeks postpartum as a new mom and exclusively breastfeeding. Ross made breakfast this morning, and then I'm having a Quick Foods protein smoothie. I am loving these lately to get more protein in, and I also love adding the colostrum for extra immune and gut support. Then I had lunch, another snack, and dinner, and here I am with my final snack of the day and some more snacks for the evening.
Holy shit. Oh boy. All right, guys. Thank you. Communication is not a skill that all of us have. Transmitting knowledge from one person to another, information, data. You know, if you, I guess if you really want to know what she eats, the GRWM videos are the worst. Get ready with me, where women put on makeup and film themselves. Why? Yeah, like and subscribe. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. A few times tomorrow. Big day, Monday. Love you guys. Bye-bye.